Joining me now, ladies and gentlemen, Kenneth S. Abramowitz, general partner and co-founder of NGN Capital, founder of SaveTheWest.com, which you should check out, and he happens to be one of the nation's foremost healthcare analysts as well. It's a pleasure to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
You are an incredible story, and I want you to talk about your message, but I want you to talk about how you went about getting your message, making sure your message on how to save the West. I mean, you're a wildly successful venture capitalist in and of itself. You've been acclaimed as one of the foremost healthcare analysts in the country, which is a very important and pertinent issue right now. But you sought out during, while the primaries were going on, every Republican candidate in your own unique way, and you managed to sit down with each one of them, not to talk healthcare necessarily, but to tell them how you believe they could save our culture and save the West. Explain, because I'm sure it's a great story.
Well, I'm a professional analyst in healthcare, and about 3 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to give a speech on the big issues of the day, because I spent time just as a citizen thinking about the big issues of the day. So I put it together and created a speech that I call How to Save Western Civilization from Itself. I had so much fun preparing, 4 months by the way, preparing for that speech, that I thought I would keep giving it. And so it's been in the last 3 years that I've dedicated myself to giving 100 speeches a year as a public service. Now, 2/3 of them are focused on senators, congressmen, presidential candidates, governors, who I just feel compelled to provide some insights to them, whether it's 15 minutes is my preferred, but I also know how to do it in 5 minutes, 2 minutes, and even 1 minute, if that's all I get. And so I try to give them the maximum amount of information that I can give them in 1 or 2 minutes, which they appreciate very much.
All right, if you were going to, I'm not going to ask you to unless you feel comfortable, when you met with Donald Trump, let's skip to the man himself, how much time he gave you, but what kind of message, what did you tell him, and what do you think resonated with him that you relate to him on how to accomplish this and how to really, because we're at a tipping point, and I know you know that, but what did you say to him?
Well, first I tried 10 times to give him the speech through making an appointment at his office. But as the campaign got on, obviously he got more and more busy, and it got more and more difficult for that to happen. But I was at a photo op with him 1 month before the election, and I had also seen him at a photo op 2 weeks before that. And he recollected me. I can't say he knows me, but he recollected me. And after the photo op, and no one talks to Mr. Trump. He takes the photos and you go. This was 1 month before the election. He turns around and he says to me, "How are we doing?" And I said, "You're doing great when you focus on the issues. Grow the economy, protect our culture, protect us physically." He goes, "I get it, I get it." So I go, "Okay, that's good." And then he turns around, turns away, and comes back to me and he says, "What about all these allegations about me?" I said, "Forget about the allegations. Grow the economy, protect our culture, protect us physically." He said, "Okay, I got it." Well, the last month he focused on the issues. He didn't go into what people call the rabbit holes. Focused on the issues, which largely focused on those 3 big issues. And he did a great job. He grew during the campaign. Hillary flatlined. She's not capable of growing. And I think in my own little way, I helped make a little difference.
I think you did. I love that you do that during your speech. I would imagine, yeah. All right, so tell us, when you give your speech, when you have the maximum amount of time granted, when you talk to congressmen or audiences, and you wrote a great piece at foxnews.com as well, how can the leaders of this country, as in particular the president, go about accomplishing what you'd like to see? And that's saving the West, saving us here in America and our culture and our values.
Sure. There's 2 separate issues. First, we discussed the first issue. First, you have to have the structure right. So once you understand the structure, which, by the way, is the Ronald Reagan message, I'm just reviving it. In fact, when I see politicians, I say to them, I'm a one-person lobbying organization trying to get Republicans to be 3-dimensional. so I use that too, so that they remember me. And so once they say, okay, I get it, I believe that, then the question is, okay, how do you grow an economy? How do you protect the culture? How do you protect us physically? Yeah. That's where I'd rather spend the time, but first I create the structure and then I fill in the spaces. So I wrote this article for Fox News a couple of weeks ago. I told them I wanted to write an article of everything that's wrong with the world and how to fix it. They said, wonderful, as long as you do it in 700 words.
Well, for a man who might have 30 seconds with someone to explain it, you're used abridging your whole synopsis.
Yes,
yeah.
and also I've learned a lot. Dennis Prager, a friend of mine, and he said to me, 5 minutes. That's all people have attention span anymore in life. You have to hit them in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I followed that. And so there was the 700 words, which is on foxnews.com, and it explains how to do it. But to explain it simply, anything that improves the growth rate of the economy is good. So, for example, the economy the last 8 years has grown roughly 1% a year. America should be growing 3, 4, even 5 at certain times. And so, cutting taxes grows the economy. Raising taxes slows the economy. So I use in my mind 4% as a guide. 4% growth. Anything that helps get you to 4 is good. Anything that hurts you, getting to 4 is bad.
I don't want to interrupt, but because of our time constraints, what do you see as the biggest threat to the West right now?
Well, first, these 3 issues are interrelated. If
Right.
you're wrong, I tell politicians, if you're wrong on one of the 3, you'll soon be wrong on the other 2. So the trick is to do all 3 at the same time. Now, for example, Europe can't grow an economy, can't protect their culture, can't protect themselves physically, and
we're seeing that.
Right. I don't want America to die like Europe is dying right now. So you have to go step by step. We discussed the economy in terms of culture, Constitution, Bill of Rights. You have to keep reiterating the importance of Constitution, Bill of Rights, and abide by it. And then in terms of national security, we need an all-encompassing vision of what's wrong and how to fix it. We don't have a strategy. The bad guys have strategies to defeat us. We don't have strategies to defeat them.
And if you listened to the president yesterday, you know we haven't had a strategy. He gave his national security address, his farewell. I want to have you back talk more about this, and I want to have you back to talk about health care and how to where the Republicans have to go. I'm here in 3 years, and I'm getting nervous. So we'll have you back. Great to see you, sir. Thank you. Kenneth Abramowitz, and check out SaveTheWest.com.